Max. That's my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the choir now. He think he's in the choir. Matt thinks he's the smartest thing on the planet. Boy, that Fred, he's just a mess.
Hey, what's going on? Today is Friday, September 15th, 2017. Thank you for tuning in and logging on. And welcome to Truthit in the AM.
Truthit in the AM.
It is. And this is your boy Truthit.
Right there.
And I'm here to address any and all things when it's time to. And it's time to.
Is, folks.
Also, in the house is the one, the only, too cool to be phony. The one that never steals but always keeps it real.
Keeps it real.
Trooper Joe is in the building.
Hey, folks. Hey, morning. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hope everybody's feeling really good this morning. Yeah, we got a little bit of weather headed this way, I guess, up here in Worcester and stuff. But I want to thank you for the applause, and I hope everybody's just going to have a lovely weekend. I hope it holds off. It's humid outside, so put on the deodorant.
Yeah, this humidity, man. It was killing me. That's another thing that was killing me last night, too, was that humidity. I'm a big person, and big people, we don't like humidity at all.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, it was too much for me. I couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Troop, how was your week?
I had a great week. I just finished up my leadership course at the Dale Carnegie, I can't even say his name, symposium or institution and stuff. It was a great course, folks. I had a lot of fun. It was a management leadership course,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and which was interesting because my leadership is leadership. Their leadership is management. You know, they got on delegation and coaching and stuff of that nature. The leadership that I kind of teach comes more from military and espionage and things of that nature, and it's not that hand-holding, delegating type of thing. But you know what was interesting, folks? And I'm just going to say this right out.
Uh-oh.
In this class, with vice presidents, directors in their companies, CEO people, and all this stuff like that, they were all white, and there was me, and I got the Dale Carnegie pen, a silver pen.
Now, what is that for? How do you earn the Dale Carnegie pen?
You get it from your peers for participation and things that you say that are motivating to people and stuff, or inspiring and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I got it. I got the pen, and I'm not surprised. I'm kind of humble.
Yeah, you're not surprised that you're humble. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not a good manager, but I'm an excellent leader. It was a leadership course. They were all trying to, you know, people go to things and they try to show off all their knowledge and everything,
mm-hmm.
which is fine, you know. But this was a course on leadership, not on management.
Right.
You know, so it was pretty obvious that I was able to be a little bit more than some of the people in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the silver pen. It's a silver pen, folks. It's blue with silver kind of looking rocks or something like that going around in
What, like rubies, like diamonds or something?
No, it's made out of silver.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't buy it. It's an award that can only be won through these leadership seminars from the Dale Carnegie place. And that's right, Trooper Joe, the minority, the brown skin, he got it. That's
mm-hmm.
right. I had a great time too. The people were really great. The professionalism was high. And I think that's what makes the difference when you're dealing with people and you're dealing from racism. If you can, because obviously I know who I am,
mm-hmm.
and I like who I am, and I think that's the biggest part about anything. I enjoy being Trooper Joe.
Right.
You know, and I'm a perfect Trooper Joe. I'm a lousy anybody else, but I'm a perfect Trooper Joe. And I really enjoy that, and I think that's what makes the difference in a lot of these things like that. It never even entered into my mind anything. I was there to learn and watch and observe as an investigator to see how other programs run, so I can incorporate some of their stuff into my program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm attentive. I got to stay the course like that, and there was no competition on that level of racism, prejudice, or any of these things. Like, just wasn't there, and never even entered into my mind. And I'm saying this about racism because of the thing that came up on the Fenway Park Green Monster.
So the Red Sox were having a game.
Yeah.
And everybody was enjoying America's favorite pastime.
Yeah.
And then you look in the center field, and you see a sign rolled down. First off, the sign was big as hell. How did they get that sign into the field? It had to have been an inside job.
No, they planned that and they put it inside the.
No, but as a fan, they check signs and stuff when you bring them into the park.
Yeah, it was in a knapsack.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess they don't check knapsacks then.
I guess not.
They better start checking knapsacks with all the terror attacks and stuff that we got.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so they're checking that. So they come in with a backpack, and it has the thing in it, and then it has a sign saying racism is to America as baseball or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me look at exactly what the quote is.
Racism is American as baseball.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
My thoughts about that, black people. You see how my voice went up?
Yeah.
I'm talking to all my African Americans out there. All my African Americans who have mixed blood in them. All my African Americans who just want to be African Americans. This is what happens when all you do is wait for some other race to come and say that you're something else.
And bail you out.
Bail you out. I don't think African Americans even were involved in the planning of this.
Not one.
It's like
not one black person was involved in that sign.
No, and now you got to take the brunt from the rest of the country looking at them. Oh, this is what the African American does. This is what black people do and stuff. There weren't any black people there.
I mean, when I looked at this, when I saw the sign, the first thing I said, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was with it or against it at first. I had to process it a little bit. And then I looked at the people holding the sign, and they looked like white college students.
That's what they were.
Yep, behind white kids holding the sign. Who? When did Truthit? When did I, and every other black person, need college students to speak up for us?
That's what I'm saying. You don't need these people to come out there and do these crazy type of over-the-top, robust, attention-getting things and stuff. Be real. Be professional. Be who you are. Love yourself and go out there and have a good time and build a future for yourself. Stop waiting on these little white people to do this stuff. Because I tell you what, folks, 4 years from now, they're gone.
Right. There's a difference, and I understand the concept of white allies. That's what that's what they call them. They call them white allies. But when your ally starts taking over
and making decisions
and causing problems that you didn't ask for, that's a whole nother thing.
That's crazy.
First off, I don't want to go to no Red Sox game anyway.
No.
And I don't need no college student to put out a sign talking about what racism is.
No. And then the news pick up on it and they run with it. And then they got talking about all these sports figures, talking about Boston being the most racist city. Going all the way back to Bill Russell.
Oh, true. And by the way, I have to disagree with you.
Okay.
As big as that sign was, there is no way in hell that sign fit in a backpack.
No.
That backpack, that thing is the size of a parachute. Look at how small, small the people are compared to the sign.
Well, they got it in there.
Yeah, they got it in there, but that's why I said it had to be an inside job. I don't know how they got it in there.
They didn't go to jail. It's against the law.
They just got removed from the park.
Yeah, because you can't hang signs of any nature over the wall.
Right, especially over other things that have advertisements. They hang over a Foxwood advertisement.
Yeah.
Foxwood paid for that specific wall space.
That's
so
it.
when you put something over there, you're violating Foxwoods. So I guess you could have gotten some sort of trouble for it.
They should have, but I don't care if they get in trouble or not. I'm just saying, black people, come on. Really? Do you really need allies that's going to be dictating your behavior? And then you just see how it morphed into something that was totally unusable for making any progression. Start talking about Bill Russell says Boston was the most racist thing, and then other sports figures who didn't like it here in Boston and stuff, and then was it Reggie Lewis or something like who was Reggie from the 5'9" basketball player who just got traded?
Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah, he liked it here.
Yep.
And talking about, well, making up excuses why he really didn't like it here, but he said he liked it here.
Yep.
It's like, you see, that's what happens when you get white allies. They can do these type of crazinesses and stuff because they can get bailed out.
Right.
You know, you could do them too if you got money to get bailed out. But why would you do that? That's negative type of exposure that really doesn't do anything. It doesn't produce anything. And it's like if you're going to spend all this energy on trying to tell people that racism is alive and existing in America, it's like, what rock did you just come out of? It's not new. The thing that should be new is I'm going to kill racism. I'm going to grab a rocks and I'm going to stone racism. That's new. And they have a plan how you're going to eliminate racism, starting with yourself. I'm going to eliminate racism because I'm going to become the best me I can be. And once I'm the best me I can be and love me, you can't touch this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's in your opinion that there should be no connection between sports and politics.
No, I like my sport. We don't need to put no politics in sports. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
No politics, no Hollywood, none of that stuff. Sports is sports.
Right.
We need sports. Sports is the vicarious warrior syndrome. You can live through these heroes of sports if you want to, and it's perfectly acceptable and it makes you feel good. Yeah. And then when you start putting politics in it and all these things, it's like that cheapens sports. It's like I like my sports figures to be sports figures. I like the see. You know what happens with sports that we don't see? We don't really see the training that the sports people go through.
Right.
We see the result. We see the performance. We don't see when the Celtics are doing wind sprints on the basketball court so that they'll be able to play the game, stopping goals. You don't see that. You think that, oh yeah, they just play scrimmages among themselves.
Right, but they still live in a world where they have to deal with social issues.
They do live in a world where they have to deal with social issues. But the social issue, the sports figure should, if he wants to get involved in hunger, he wants to get involved in racism, he wants to get involved in anything, he should get involved in that. But it shouldn't be taking place at a sporting event.
Right.
Like I said, show the guy working out. Do you see these sports figures? They look great. You ain't seeing no oversized sports figures. Even in the football, you see big old ones like that, but they're moving. They're moving high. It's like you don't see that, and I think that's a big problem. They should show some of the real training that go on with some of the sports figures so that people can really identify with what it takes to be a sports figure. And they gotta go to college. You gotta maintain you don't have to, you can get it right outside. You can get it and never go to school at all if you're that good in the sport.
Right.
But you know, one of the places where they grab them out of the pool is from college. So you gotta maintain some kind of grade average.
Yep. Well, there's I don't know if you've heard or if you know who Jamel Hill is.
Jamel Hill.
She's one of the anchors on Sports Center on ESPN.
Yeah.
And she spoke out on her Twitter against Donald Trump. Now, she said Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has surrounded himself with white supremacists. And let me get the exact quote. Jamel Hill is the newest face of ESPN controversy. The Sports Center co-host went on a Twitter rant against President Trump that included calling him a white supremacist, forcing ESPN to issue a statement Tuesday denouncing the comments. Trump is the most ignorant, offensive president of my lifetime, she tweeted. His rise is a direct result of white supremacy, period. He is unqualified and unfit to be president. He is not a leader, and if he were not white, he would not have been elected. She put that on her Twitter. Even now, this wasn't on the show. This wasn't during an episode of Sports Center, but this was her personal Twitter account. So it's kind of like Facebook. It'd be like if she would have put it on Facebook. ESPN had to issue an apology, but now Donald Trump and everybody else wants her fired.
Yeah.
She should not get fired.
I don't know if she should get fired or not. I know I wouldn't want her on my shows. Because it's like, why are you saying these things like this here? You gotta if you're in the limelight just like we are, we got millions and millions of listeners out there.
Okay.
So we're responsible for some people hear what we say and they take it such to heart that they want to be just like Truthit.
Yep.
You know, and that's a powerful responsibility to have.
Yep.
So with this woman going off on rants and everything that is nothing but pure emotional speculation on her part, she has no idea about what a Donald Trump is like.
Right.
You know?
She can go by the things that he said. Even he's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
When you're the president, people kind of know what you're like.
What's he like? He's an egotist. He's totally an egotist.
An egotistic negotiator.
That's what
now, would it have been okay for her to write that on her Twitter?
That's what he is.
Well, he's direct result of white, but you don't believe in white supremacy. I get it now. This is why you don't see it. She said he's unqualified and unfit to be president. He is not a leader. Do you think he's a leader?
He got elected.
That doesn't mean he's a leader. That could be a direct result of white supremacy.
There is no real qualifications for politicians. The only qualification that should be for any politician is that they have the
most votes.
That's how they get in. But they have the heart and mind of the people that they represent first and foremost in their lives. Mm-hmm. That they want to do something for somebody else. That should be the qualification.
Right.
So there is no qualification. So you can't say he didn't get qualified. He's not qualified. You're qualified. I'm qualified. You just got to get the votes.
Yep.
That's right. You got to have the age and get the votes and live in the place. Those are all the qualifications that you need to run, and then you get elected. And he get elected because of. He got elected because this country is in such, and this is why racism is really bad. Mm-hmm. They're using racism to mask over the things that are truly happening that you don't want to see. Mm-hmm. He got elected because a lot of white men, a lot of white women voted for him. They were unemployed. They were this silent minority that was low-wage workers out there in the Midwest. He directly went after them, said, I'm going to get you jobs. I'm going to do this here and do that there. That was his platform. That's what he went after. That's the voters that he targeted.
All right.
And the same voters that the Democratic Party was trying to target without offering them anything.
Well, no, they weren't trying. That's why Hillary, one of the reasons, many reasons why Hillary lost, Hillary didn't target those people that Trump targeted. She wasn't in places like Utah and North Dakota and South Dakota heavy like Trump was. But
because Hillary and Bernie tried to use racism as a platform.
Yep, they did.
You know, and it's like, there ain't enough racism out there to go against my family's hungry because I've been out of work for about a year and I can't find a job.
But here's the pinch. Okay, so back to Jamel Hill. Here's the pinch that ESPN is in. they're getting heat from both sides now.
Yeah.
So you got the Trump administration. The press secretary, Trump's press secretary, said that she should be fired for what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you got a lot of people who are basically the same people who voted for Trump who want her gone. But then on the other side, you have the social justice warriors and the college kids and the black people talk about if she so much as gets suspended, we will boycott the ESPN. We will not watch ESPN. It's easy to get ESPN off your package, your cable package. So ESPN, what they tried to do was they tried to get someone to replace her for a night or so, to get her off the air just to make it look like they did something. But none of the other anchors, none of the other white anchors, because they wanted to take her off, the black woman off, and put a white person in her place. They said, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. So then they asked a couple of black people, and a couple of black people, they said, not only will I not do it, but if she's gone, I'm leaving too. So it became...
Yeah, they talk all this, I'm leaving, they ain't going anywhere.
Well, they made that stand. She's still there. She's still on the air, so...
I'm somebody who's so totally against racism, but I'm not against. It's not just the racism of the way it's being presented now. I'm against the racism that people internalize themselves so that they can maintain their own victimizationhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people. What has this really got to do with anything? If you're unemployed and you can't get a job and stuff, somebody running on a ticket that says we're going to make America strong again, we're going to bring back jobs to this country, and it's looking right in your face saying, yeah, you people up here, we're going to bring these jobs up here to you and stuff like that. And he's a businessman and a negotiator. They say, all right, I'm going for that. I'm going with it because they're not working. They need to have those jobs. Is it has anything to do with racism? No.
Nope.
It's got to do with economics. But if you keep following behind these, what you call them?
Social justice warriors?
These social justice warriors, they're only having social justice warrior fun.
Right.
You know, it's like you're boycotting sports, you're boycotting everything. The Yaki way, folks, I think we should have, it'd be hard to have that in honesty and stuff. I would love to know, because I didn't know, because I never even cared. You know, how many blacks in Boston even knew anything about Yaki?
Yaki being a slave owner or something like that? Yeah.
Who knew? Who cared?
Who wasn't a slave owner back then? That's the problem. It was like being a slave owner in those days was like having a cell phone today. Yeah. Everybody has it. So you're going to penalize everybody for just living according to how it is now.
And what happened? There were slave rebellions.
Yep.
There was an underground railroad with slaves getting out.
Yep.
As soon as the Emancipation Proclamation came and slaves could join the military, they signed up in droves so that they could fight for their own freedom to get out. That's what happened. They didn't say, we better make sure that the white people know that there was slavery. They ain't got time for that. They say we're going out here, take the situation into our own hands and do something positive about it. Got out of there.
Right.
Well, so it just amazes me that we so easily sell our happiness and freedom to somebody else. Not even sell, we gave it away.
Yep.
We gave it away. All this noise and stuff that's coming out of this banner on the Fenway Wall that I'm sure no black people knew anything about.
Or even care about. And that's, but then, so I've said in the past, things never really changed for black people until white people changed them. For example, it was Abraham Lincoln who ended slavery. It was white people who came out with the civil rights movement was performed by black, but it wasn't until they were on that bridge getting beat by the police that America saw it on television. that changes came and laws passed in the end of the Jim Crow era. Wasn't it, who now? How did the Jim Crow era come to the end? Was it from Lyndon B. Johnson? Who was it from?
Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1960.
Right. So it's almost
he
like
was the president.
Right.
Black, you just can't step from being a servant into being the
royalty.
The royalty, because you don't have no money. It ain't that you're not smart enough. It ain't that you don't want that kind of position. It's none of that. You don't have the capital.
Right. So
not
having the capital and being able to do it, just like we don't have the capital and being able to stop police brutality today. We can't. What can we do? We can't stop police from.
We can gain the capital. Stop waiting
yes.
for white people to put banners
yes.
and make no noise and all that. Go out there, gain that capital. You want allies? Get a mirror.
Yep.
If it looks like, okay, you look like me, you're an ally.
Right.
You want friendships and stuff? Have friends with everybody. Who cares what they look like? It's a friend. You have a barbecue, have a beer. You don't care who passes you that beer. White guy, white woman, Chinese person, you don't care. I'll take the beer.
Yep.
Good. You don't care. Those are friends. Do that. But if you want allies and you want to make changes, you got to get that capital, and not just the monetary capital. You got to get knowledgeable capital. You got to get something that's strong and powerful that you can use to make yourself and other people look better. If you don't, you keep waiting on people, you get nonsense like a banner held over the wall that creates a whole lot of negative nonsense. Does nothing.
And it got everybody up in arms and talking about it in the Boston area now.
Yeah.
Sports shows, instead of talking about sports, we're talking about it all yesterday and the day before. I don't. Very stupid.
Very stupid. Come on, black folks. Be you. Don't be some carbon little copy of something that somebody else says you got to be like.
And don't allow someone who's never been what you've been through, never been scared like you've been scared.
Yeah.
That can only imagine the things that you go through represent you.
No,
I don't need people to represent me. I can represent myself.
That's how I represent. There's only one me.
Yep.
I'm the only Trooper Joe, and I'm perfect, folks. I'm a perfect Trooper Joe. And everybody in the whole planet, I don't care who you are, you can say the same thing. There's only one Truthit.
Yep.
And he's perfect in being a Truthit.
Right.
There's only one you. And if you're not perfect in being you, what can I say?
Right. All right.
What can I say? I can't say anything.
Nope, you can't. So we have another update from Kanika Jenkins, the woman who was found dead in a freezer.
Yeah.
There are so many videos. There's a video of a party where she was at. There's a video of her stumbling around. Now there is a video, according to an activist in Chicago, of her walking into the freezer on her own.
Could be.
The police said they do not suspect foul play. The mother and every black person in the world, almost the majority of black people, allegedly, I have to say that, thought there was something that happened. She was murdered. But now come to find out about it, the activist who went to the police station and actually saw the video says that she, in fact, did walk in to the freezer on her own.
She could have. When I talked about this here, and my complaint was that the police, they attacked the mother. They verbally, instead of looking for the daughter, they went out and they were directing the police, the people in the hotel. They got angry at the mother, who totally distraught and upset because where's her daughter? Nobody's taking into the fact of where's her daughter. That little girl didn't need to die. I don't know how she got in the freezer. Don't know.
Well, true,
but what I know is they didn't do for hours and they're looking for her.
Well, right. I don't blame them.
They were throwing the mother out the hotel.
Get out.
No. That's a
Let me explain to you what was going on. This is in the west side of Chicago. One of the worst places on earth. where the guns, the shootings are as often as any third world country. More shootings happen there than in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. War-torn countries don't get as many shootings as they get in the west side of Chicago, which is where this young woman was. They're dealing with shootings, after murders, after homicides, after gang violence, after kids getting killed. And then while they're trying to deal with all of this stuff, they have one woman come and say, my daughter's missing. It's just not. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done anything about it or they shouldn't look into it, but there's other things higher on the importance list than that, especially if the daughter wasn't missing for 24 hours.
Okay, they should have did some active looking around instead of just being all rude and ignorant towards the mother.
Yes, I agree. They should have been rude.
I don't care. If they had done something instead of what they did do, who knows what would have happened? I don't think the little girl would have been dead.
Oh, I think she was in the freezer.
I don't condone her behavior. I don't condone. Did she go in the pee? I don't know. But what I do know is the police, the hotel management, all they did was get on the mother, about this and that and whatever other thing, instead of doing a search for the
frustrations are misplaced, Truth. What you should be asking and what you should be saying is, what the hell were all these kids, these underage kids, or these kids that are young as they were, who with the drugs and the weed and all kinds of stuff, partying in the hotel, underage drinking, all kinds of stuff. Those are the people that everybody should be looking at and looking for and putting under the jail. You should be. I'm
putting everybody under the jail. I'm just saying that the little girl may not have had to die.
If she was responsible enough to not go to a party where drugs and alcohol was, knowing she shouldn't have been there, she was underage.
I ain't gonna pretend that just because you become a teenager and something awful happens to you, now you're supposed to be smart. Nobody said this little girl was smart.
Right, but
I didn't even say that.
Right, but there's consequences for being foolish.
Of course, there's consequences for anything.
And that's why her mother should have taught her not to be going out to do stuff like that.
Her mother you're absolutely correct. The home training was definitely not there so this little girl would have had a better opportunity at doing smarter things and making better choices. 100%. That ain't my complaint.
Okay.
My complaint is that the police and the hotel people,
oh my goodness,
for hours did nothing.
True, you sound like a social justice warrior right now.
No, I'm sounding just like a real. If they had done something rather than taking all that energy and pouring it out on the woman, they should have said something like, "Okay, we'll go back to where the room was. We're going to start there. We'll do a search of the floors and everything and see if we can't find her." That's fine. Maybe they find her, maybe they don't. They didn't do anything. They yelling and screaming at the mother because she's distraught. No, that was bad policing. These are the things you need to change. That was bad policing.
It takes 24 hours. You have to be missing for 24 hours before the police can actually, really do something.
Exactly. But if you're there, do something. Don't do the negative by yelling at the woman. They were there.
Mm-hmm.
So being there is like, do something. Okay, lady, we'll look around. Do something. They didn't do anything except yell at the lady. That was wrong. You hear me, Chicago police? You were wrong. Bunch of Al Capones.
I can't believe, Truth, right now. You are sounding like me and I'm sounding like you. Well, I would be like, it's the police fault. The police didn't do their job. And then, you would probably be siding on, well, the parents need to do their job.
They didn't do their job, but I'm not even going there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going there. And Chicago's a mess. But you know what else, too? I think we're so used to looking at Chicago because of numbers. We love numbers. We had 4 or 5 stabbings in Boston last night, 2 shootings, and 2 people get hit by trains. We got even trains attacking people here.
That's not the police's fault.
No, that's the train's fault.
Yes, it's the train. Well, it depends. A train, once the train's going, it's hard for a train to stop. That's why you have to be
But we've
aware.
been having a rash of people get, and I was going to talk about that a little later because I know why we have a rash of people getting hit by trains.
Mm-hmm.
They're homeless. That's where they congregate. They have always done
No,
that.
one of the women that got hit by the bus, she was a something for the city. She was a city. What was she?
The train?
The train, yeah, the train that hit the woman. Sorry, not the bus, the train. The train that hit this woman recently, she was someone important in Worcester. Let me find out what it is now.
They just laid off 600 people in Worcester. Ain't that important?
Let me see.
See that, folks? You didn't even know that, did you?
32-year-old. Okay, transit police said a man and a woman were struck. Trespassing. Trespassing. Nope, this isn't the story.
So that's the one.
That's the one where the homeless people.
Yeah,
they were homeless. But there's another one, another story, of a mother and a daughter who got hit.
Trains are rough on people.
Yes, they are very. Yes, they are. They are rough on people. But now I need to find it. See, true.
But you know, if we spend more time instead of trying to identify and justify, we're not identifying and justifying. We're entertaining ourselves by these kind of horrific kind of stories that happen and everything. Because, like I said, those people that got hit by the train, they were homeless.
Yes.
Homeless people like to congregate on railroad tracks and stuff because they're out of sight of the general population.
Right.
You know, they're left alone.
Even homeless people want privacy.
Yeah, because they got enough problems being homeless. They don't need people be looking at them, and then you get knuckleheads want to spit on them and light them on fire and stuff. It's scary to be out there living on the street and stuff. It can't be nice. So they go to places that are off the grid. Like that. They used to have a camp up there in Worcester, up near the airport and stuff, off the grid. You know, this is how they congregate. In Houston, when I lived in Houston, you had homeless cities underneath the overpasses and stuff down near the bayous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was probably a whole lot of them people that got killed. That were the homeless people that were living on the bayous that overflowed. Yeah. But this is how they live, and all the good people, they go like this. Oh, there's such a homeless problem and an opioid problem. It's an opioid problem, not say drugs, folks. Say drugs. This is a drug problem. We got a lot of people that's affected by drugs. Don't say opioids and say, well, opiates and opioids and try to separate the two. It's a drug problem.
Yep.
And if you're going to treat it as some kind of intellectualized something else problem, it ain't. There's no way that you're gonna beat it. It's already won. You know, it's a drug problem. Tell it like it is and treat it like it is. These people have problems with drugs, and a homeless problem. It's a societal problem. They're down. They've reached the lowest level of society. For what reason? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There could be many. I don't know. But they're there.
Yep. So this one I was talking about. Angry. The accident that I was talking about was in Thompson, Connecticut. Authorities said one woman has died and another woman suffered serious injuries when they were struck by a train in Connecticut. This is and one of them they worked for the city. And they worked for Worcester.
Yeah.
The mother, and so it was a mother and a daughter that were struck by a train in Thompson. That's the one that you're talking about was a man and a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a mother and a daughter who was hit, but these two they weren't homeless.
No, and now they're trying to think that this was some kind of murder or something like that. Because pump it up, get a big ass thing and pump it up. It's a problem. It's a serious problem, and we're not cats, folks.
Nope.
Just because we can hide our heads and then we come out and smile and we get something to eat, you know, we're not cats. The homeless problem isn't going to go away by saying, oh, the poor homeless people. Not going to go away.
Nope.
Everybody has to take an active role in the homeless problem and the drug problem. the drug problem seriously ain't going to go away by legalizing marijuana.
And it's not going to go away by blaming the police either because of bad parenting. No. That girl walked in that freezer on her own. She was high on drugs. She had alcohol, and she was at that party. Now the question is, because she is underage, I think she's 19. Who gave her drugs and who gave her alcohol? That's where the attention should be focused on now. That's who should be getting in trouble.
I think there's enough trouble to go around, but
even the mother.
The mother too.
And did you see the sister? We want to know what happened because she couldn't have went in that freezer by herself. She needs English classes, Truth. Unbelievable the way that that girl was talking on national television too. Oh man, it reminds me of that. Ain't nobody got time for that, lady. You know how they sometimes interview black people or what happened, and they get all animated and stuff and embarrassed, set black people back 100 years? That's what that girl, I don't know what happened to my sister, but she can't walk into a freezer by herself. She was martyred. I don't even know what, I said, what is martyred? I had to go look up mod.
She was martyred.
Yeah.
And that's the currency we don't have. This is the currency that we don't have. It's like, you need an education, girl.
Yep.
Seriously, or you're not going to be able to participate.
Right.
It's on the lowest levels.
Another thing is that the woman that did die and was hit by the train, she was a real estate agent. She did not work for the city, but she was a real estate agent, so she wasn't homeless. She was her and her daughter who got hit by the train.
But she doing on the railroad track.
I have no idea. Maybe it was her car that got hit. I don't know.
I don't know. Folks, I stay away from railroad tracks. They're dangerous.
Yep.
They're dangerous. They and trains don't like you. They don't like.
I don't know. All I know is Martha shouldn't have walked into that freezer by herself. Why is she so unbelievable? Why would you get on TV knowing people looking at you and sound like that? Because snapping your lips and everything.
She don't think she's doing anything wrong.
Yeah, because she's got no home training.
That's right. She's talking ghetto.
Yes.
That's ghetto.
Yes. You know? And we need some de-ghettofications of black people.
Yeah.
We gotta stop making excuses for stuff like that. What we're gonna do is we'll take a break. Be back on Truth in the Air.